Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Today's video I'm gonna cover part 3 of my things that you can do to help life here in Mexico, or at least in Mearda, Mexico, just a little bit more comfortable. Or in this case, it helped me, and hopefully some of these things that has helped me can help you make life a little bit more comfortable. I talked about part 1, and then I did a part 2. Well, this is part 3. If you like this video, of course, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, okay? I really would appreciate that. Okay, now, I talked about the first 10, then the second one, and well, this third one here is gonna be, it has helped me more. Some of this stuff here will help you even more once you move here. Not all of it. Some things you can do if you're renting, okay? But some of them is things that you can do probably only if you're moving here, or at least have a really long-term lease. The good thing is if you do some of these things, even if you're renting, because some of them I did when I was renting, you can take these things with you, okay? All right, enough of the small talk. Let's get down to business. I'm gonna start off with these 10 things here, and then we have a bonus at the end, okay, where I may give you a couple of more because they kind of run over the 10, but not enough to make a 4th video. So here we go, guys. Here we go. Okay. The first thing on this video I'm going to talk about, now these things are not in any certain order. They're just some things that I have used to make my life a little bit more comfortable here. And hopefully you can too. Now, here we go. The first thing is, when you're using the restroom here, hate to go here, but when you're using the restroom here, they tell you don't put paper in the toilet, okay? I didn't realize how big of an issue that was for some people. For me, it wasn't that big of an issue, but do you know I have people that don't even want to visit me because they're not allowed to put paper in the toilet, okay? Well, guess what, guys? I got a solution for that, okay? And it's not a very expensive solution. And with this solution, you can use it in your rental property, okay, or wherever you're renting, whether that be an apartment or a house or whatever, because when we first moved here, I used it in our apartment, okay? And it depends on the kind of water pressure you have. We didn't have high pressure water when I was in my apartment, but we was on the first floor of a 3-story unit. So with that much water falling from the roof, it allowed us to have enough pressure for me to use it. But the solution, guys, is what they call a bottom cleaner, okay? Where you use water to clean yourself. Now, they have all levels of these. They have some of them where they come with a dryer, where you can hook a dryer up to it if you have access to electricity near your toilet, and it has a dryer. But if it doesn't, you still use paper, but the paper is clean. It's used to dry up water, okay? And that's a nice feeling, because the other problem with this is if you're using paper, you want to use a lid with a top. But if you use a lid with a top, some people, and I've seen this at restaurants, they'll touch the top with the paper. So now you got problems on the lid. So then you don't want to have a top on your trash can. So some people use scented trash bags and all that kind of stuff, okay? Well, this problem that I have here, I think is a great solution. You still may use a little paper, but it's mostly to dry off the water. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show it to you. So hold on just a minute. Okay, now, the thing that I'm talking about is this little deal here, okay? With some of you can have hot and cold water. They have, as you can see here, they have front and rear, and you can change the dials. And you can have, as you can see here, it's got cool water and warm water. I don't have the warm water, I just have one water. But if you also notice, I have an electrical outlet that I had put right next to my toilet. So when this one ever goes bad, the next one I'm getting is gonna have heaters tied to it. But let me just show you how it works. Hang on a minute here. Okay, what you can do is, and this is gonna be kind of hard to do, but you turn this thing on and you see the water right there? If I turn it up higher, the water will come even more pressure, and it hits you right in the sweet spot. And what it does, and they have two of them, because if I could turn on the other one, it hits you on the other side. As you see this, let me turn it on gradually. Okay, it's skeeting, but I ain't gonna let it get that powerful. But anyway, it cleans you up, guys. And then when you get the paper, and then when you get to your paper is not dirty. It's just wet. And you throw your paper in the trash. And that way it doesn't look all gross. It's just wet paper. It's just paper in the trash. So this can be the problem to, not flushing paper down the toilet. Or at least it's our solution. And it works wonderfully. Okay, so that's one. Okay, the second thing here today is, a lot of times you move to a place or whatever, and, you want to have cold water out of the refrigerator where you can just put your glass up there, get some ice, and get cold water. Okay, because the water here is so hard, you can't really drink the water. Now, there is an expensive solution to this. You can get water treatment put into your house where you can have fresh water on tap that's drinkable. And, that's nice to have that. It may not be cold, or it could be cold, because now you have a line that you can hook directly to your refrigerator for your ice maker and for your fresh drinking water. But I have a more less expensive fix for that problem. And what you can get is, you know how you go to a doctor's office or something in the U.S. and they have water in a jug and it comes out in a little cup or something. They have little cups on top where you can get cold water, hot water, or warm water. Well, you can get that here and you can hook up your jug to it, okay? And this is one of those deals where it's small enough to where you can take it wherever you move to, okay? And you can just put your glass in there and you can have cold water and clean water. And I know it seemed like nothing, but it's a very big solution to a problem. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. We have this deal here, so you can hook up your jug of water to it there, right? And then you can stick your glass there and you can get cold water. Or you can put it on this side and you can get warm water. Or you can put it in the middle and you just get room temperature water. I'm sorry, the one that I said was warm, you can get hot water. Well, this little deal, I can't remember what it costs, but it's nice and neat. You don't see the jug, it's out of the way. You don't put it on your countertop, you put it on the floor. And it's a way to solve that problem with a solution that you can take with you, no matter you're buying a house or renting an apartment or renting a house. It's, me and my wife have really liked having it. It keeps you out of the refrigerator, from going in the refrigerator so much, okay? And the refrigerators here are so small. The refrigerators here are so small until you don't want to take up room putting a jug of water in your refrigerator to have cold water, because the refrigerators are so small you don't have room, or it's taking up space that you could be putting something else there. So having that deal outside of the refrigerator to give you access to cold water can be really nice. I mean, because you could use just bottled water, right? But when you put in bottled water in the refrigerator, some people like their water cold. And if you like your water warm, it's no big deal. Just go get bottled water. But if you like having cold water, which I do, putting all those bottles of water in the refrigerator can take up a lot of room. Or, you know, pouring you a jug of fresh water and putting it in the refrigerator can take up a lot of room when you have a small refrigerator. And in our apartment, we had a very small refrigerator. So this thing really helped out and worked out great. Okay. So anyway, that's number 2. Let's go on to number 3 that kind of helped make life in Mearda a little bit easier to live with and to adjust to. And this is something that has nothing to do with really living, but at the same time it does. And that is Mearda's airport. First of all, guys, you have to realize that Mexico is right next to the U.S. So if you're leaving family, it's nice to know that in an emergency situation, you can get to the U.S. fairly quickly, okay? But the other thing to know is, you know, not all towns have an airport there. Well, we have an international airport here in Mearda, and it's a very nice airport. It's not super huge. It's small and it's a very convenient airport, okay? And you can get in, you can get out, you can pick up your people, and it's quick and easy, and it's a wonderful airport. And again, Mearda is a major hub where we have, you know, international flights. And, you know, you can fly all over Mexico if you want to travel. And just having that airport right there is really nice. Anyway, and it's a convenient, and it helps with life here, knowing that your family can come see you, or you can go see family, and you can pick them up no more. I don't care if you live really far away from and at the beach, in Progreso Beach, you can come and get them at the airport in less than 30 to 45 minutes. That is nice. Okay, so that's number 3. Let's go on to number 4. Now, this is not something for everybody, but I have a part in it that's for everybody. And that is either driving your car here or buying a car once you are here. A car, people, having your own car makes life so much easier here, okay? You can live, you don't have, you know how I like living inside the Periferico, which is in the city. I love that because I love the conveniences. But if you have a car, it opens it up so where if you don't want to live in the city and you want to live further away, having that car just gives you a lot more conveniences, you know, because now you can jump in your own car and go, okay? Now, if you don't have your own car, they have Uber or Uber equivalents, things to Uber, and they're really, really inexpensive compared to the U.S., okay? For instance, we can catch an Uber from our house and go to the airport because sometimes you don't want to leave your car at the airport if you're going to be gone for 2 weeks or so. You can just catch an Uber or a Didi or whatever they call them, InDriver or whatever it is. I call them all Ubers. And you can go to the airport, and we can do it for probably about 200 pesos, which is about 10 bucks. Okay. Sometimes I think it's less than that. Just depends on, you know, the time of day that you want to go and all that kind of stuff. But Ubers can make your life convenient, but having your own car puts it on another level. Anyway, just wanted to tell you that. So that's number 4. Number 5. Here's one, guys, that you may or may not be able to get if you're renting a place. But if you own a place, it is so nice to have water pressure, okay? And the way they do water here is mostly gravity fed, okay? And there are other things where you can just have a whole pressure system throughout your whole house. And that can be kind of expensive. And if you have an older house, your pipes may not be the type of pipes you need to have a pressure system, okay? But one of the things that you can do to reduce the price, and you might could even do this on a long-term rental, and that's just get a water pump booster on your place, okay? And that's what we have, a water pump booster. And I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference. I'm just gonna show you what the water pressure would have been like if we didn't have it, and what the water pressure is like now that we do have it. Okay, let me turn that down a little bit. If we didn't have water pressure or this water pump booster, the water pressure would be something like that. And even if you turned on both sides, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. Now, I have a pump booster, so I can't show you what it's like to really not have it. I just have to simulate it. But it would be like that with the water turned all the way up. Now, with the water pressure booster, you get water like that, which also means you get showers like that. And I'm here to tell you, we tried to make this house so that, because I try to make it where my expenses are as low as they could possibly be, okay? Because I'm thinking about when I'm retired. I don't want, and if I'm not here and my wife just has to live here, I want the expenses to be so low until she won't have to stress over paying bills or anything. But at the same time, I needed some water pressure. So this water pump booster, it makes a world of difference. If we didn't have it, and we tried to go without it, like I was saying, but for me, we got low pressure shower heads and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't enough pressure for me. I've lived here for 3 years before we got this house, and we lived without water pressure. And I said when I got my, when I got my own house, I wanted to have water pressure. So it almost feels like you living in luxury when you done lived 3 years with just gravity fed water, and now you move to having pressure water. There are some downsides to it. The downside is when you first turn your water on, you may not have pressure. It depends on the type of system you have. It could take up to 10 seconds, 5 seconds, sometime even 15 seconds before the pressure kicks in, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, and you have to listen to the noise. No matter who's in the house, if they turn on the water, if you flush the toilet, if you do anything with water, you're gonna hear that pump kick in. After a while, you get used to the noise and it's no big deal. But sometimes, you know, it can be a little bit of a problem. But it is on the roof of the house, and if you're on the first floor, it's not as loud. But if you're on the second floor, it's gonna be a little bit loud. But you will hear it no matter who turns on the water, what time of night they turn on the water, it's gonna kick in. But the trade-off is not having no pressure. And I'd rather have the noise and have the pressure. Anyway, I'm gonna go up on the roof and I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, I'm outside, I'm on the roof of the house, so had to climb up them steps, that ladder. Let me show you what this pump looks like. Okay, that's our pump right there, okay? We wanted a large one. We wanted a large pump, so no matter how much gas we have, we wanted to be able to have enough pressure if 3 or 4 people took a shower at one time. So, but you don't have to get them that big. You can get a smaller one, especially if you're by yourself and living, or just a couple, or in a, you know, 1 or 2 bedroom house or apartment. And I'm telling you, you know, labor here is not that expensive. And that's the part that you can get local. You don't have to have it shipped in or anything like that. So I bet you it wouldn't cost you no more than about $150, $200. And you can have pressure in your house, okay? I don't know about you guys, but that's something I wish I would have known when I first moved here, because I would have had that installed to make sure that I could take a shower with some pressure. Because there have been some places where the water pressure was so little until I had to pretty much either soak the towel or get wet and wring the towel out over my head sometime to rinse the soap off. So water pressure can definitely help you feel a little bit more comfortable living here in Mearda, Mexico. While I'm on the roof, let me cover another thing that can help you here. If you buy a house or something like that, One thing that can really help you is, instead of having a little tank where you have to call the gas man to swap out a tank, get you a large tank, okay? And my architect told me that with this large tank, let me show it to you. With this large tank that we have here, we may only have to fill up and buy gas once a year, okay? She said they fill up their tank on her husband's birthday every year. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. So far, we've been here about, let me see, 4.5 months. When you fill it up to 85%. And right now, as you can see, I'm only at 70%. So, and that's with 4 months. So I can definitely see how this thing could last a year or more even. Now, how many liters does it hold? I have no idea on that. Okay, I wish I could give you that. I just know that it's a large one. And that right there can make life a little bit easier when you don't have to worry about running out of gas. Or, okay, we had the bottles where you had to take them to get filled or come and swap them out. And we had to buy our own bottles because the house we had didn't have any. And the downside to those things is you only can fill them up when they run all the way empty, and they don't have a gauge to tell you when they're being close to empty. So on a day like today, or any day that's a holiday, or you're having people over or cooking or something like that, you worry about, am I gonna have enough gas to cook? And I don't know if you guys remember seeing this video, but I was cooking for me and my wife's anniversary, and we ran out of gas in the middle of us cooking, and I had to call the gas man to have gas delivered. Well, with this, you can get on the roof and you can check and see how close you are to empty. And if you're close to empty, you can just call and have them to come fill it up. And you never have to run out of gas. That's the part I'm getting at. Running out of gas sucks. I remember I had a gas grill back in Texas, and from time to time I would run out of gas right in the middle of cooking. Had to run to the store, get another tank, and you know, that's a headache. You don't want to run out of gas in the middle of cooking. Well, this is one of those things that can help make that situation a whole lot nicer. I just thought about it. Another thing, while I'm up here, let me cover this one as well. And that is your electricity. Now, this one only kind of goes for when you're buying a house. But you can look for a rental property that already has them. You may pay a little bit more in rent, but you will love it when you get your electric bill and it's not that expensive, okay? Because it does get hot here. I mean, it can get really hot. And if you're new here, that heat can be enough to run you back to the US, okay? And then if you run that air conditioner non-stop, that electric bill can be enough to make you run back to the US. So what I would suggest you do is, when you get your house or when you buy your house, if you don't get it as soon as you get there, get it shortly thereafter. And that is to get solar panels. Okay, these are my panels. Get you some solar panels. I haven't got a good bill yet because we having some situations, but I have multiple friends that are getting their electric bills and they're paying like less than 60 pesos every 2 months. That's less than $3 for their electric bill every 2 months. Every 2 months. Every 2 months. Let me repeat that again. Every 2 months, less than $3. And they're paying that for their electric. And I know one guy, particularly Angel, he tells me he's running at least one air conditioner, sometimes two, 24/7. And not only is his electric bill like $3 every 2 months, he has 1,000 extra kilowatts that the electric company owes him, just kind of sitting in the bank for when he has a month where he's really running his air conditioner a lot, okay? So having electric solar panels can, number one, reduce your electric bill for the current time. And then for later on, if you're not already there, when you retire, it can help eliminate that surprise of a big electric bill in a hot summer. Okay? So, and the price of them, guys, is nowhere near the price of solar panels in the United States. You can't hardly afford them in the United States. Here, you just buy them outright, okay? And the prices depends on how many you get and who you get to install them, but you can get them for a really, really, really good price. Okay? So anyway, I just wanted to cover that while I was here on the roof of the house. Okay, guys, I'm back. I done lost count. I think that was number 7. So we're gonna go into number 8. And again, this is another one of those things that you can only have if you're buying your house. And for some people, it's no big deal, okay? But for us, me and my wife, it was a very big deal. And that is, we wanted to have a bathtub. Because most houses here in Mexico, they don't have bathtubs. A few of them do, okay? Because, you know, some people wanted a bathtub. But most of them don't. And here, first of all, you got to have the room in your bathroom to be able to have a tub, okay? And then second of all, you got to have it put in. But having a bathtub, guys, it can be really, really nice. And we got a tub, and the tub, I mean, it was really reasonable. I think the tub ended up costing us about, I don't remember what it cost us. Anyway, it's a garden tub. It's big enough for 2 people. We love having it, okay? And with the water pressure, you know, it fills up pretty quick. We tried to fill that tub up without the water pressure, and it took like 45 minutes for the tub to fill up. So that was another reason we had to have water pressure, okay? Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Again, guys, all of these things is not things that will bother everybody, and all of them are not things that will help make your life or transition here to Mexico easier for everyone. But these are some of the things that has helped us. You know, when we first moved here, we didn't have a tub. You kidding me? We would go over other people's house sometime and saw they had a tub, and you almost just melt wishing you could have that tub. So we said that when we would buy a house, we were going to have a tub put in. Well, just the dream of having a tub can kind of help say, okay, eventually at some point, one of these days, we're going to be able to have that comfort of being able to take a bath again and just sit in a tub and soak in some Epsom salt after going for a long bike ride to the beach. Okay. Anyway, so again, I don't remember exactly what number I am. I think that was number 8 or number 9 or number 7, something like that. Anyway, I'm going on to the next one. I talked about owning a car, okay, and how that can make your life easier here. Well, one of the problems with owning a car here is gasoline is is about $5 a gallon. So gasoline is expensive, okay? But what I'm going to tell you about on this one is car insurance, okay? Car insurance, guys, is nice here. We got a fairly new car, and we pay about, I think it's about $300 for the whole year, full coverage, including towing, okay? And rental car. It's about $300 a year, okay? So the cost of ownership can get, you know, number one, for me, we just needed a car. We didn't need anything super big. We drove our car in from the U.S. And on that car, it was a 2006, which means it was an old car. So when we first wanted to get insurance, we were just going to get liability because, you know, a $2,000 car, why would you want to get full coverage on a $2,000 car? So we were just going to get liability insurance. Well, the difference between liability insurance, I think it was going to be something like, I think it was going to be like $80 for the whole year, guys. Okay. But we got full coverage on that car, and it was only like $120 for the whole year. Those may not be the exact prices, but it was something about like that. So we chose to get full coverage, which really, really worked out well. So having insurance can definitely make you feel comfortable living here because the insurance, number one, it works, it pays well. Okay. And number two, it's not expensive to have it. My daughter was telling me that her insurance was like close to $200 a month. That's ridiculous. So anyway, that can be really nice. Okay, moving on to the next thing. This next thing is really nothing that we have, it ain't no really, it's nothing that you have control over. But for me, it's one of the benefits. If you live in a cold weather climate, coming here, I don't know if it's going to be a relief for you or not, because when it's hot, okay? March, April, and May, I mean, you could have temperature of like 110 degrees, okay? And in June, it instantly starts to cool because it comes down to like the 90s or the low 100 or something like that, which is still hot. But trust me, it's not 110, okay? So you'll be in the 90s to about 100, 101, something like that. After that, and you get a little bit more rain, which means you're going to have cooler days. But the part that I want to tell you about is, as a mechanic, I hated winters, okay, because cars would come in with ice all on them, and ice would run down your sleeve when you drag the car up in the air. Your hands would get all cold, and you have to go inside and warm your hands up so they can straighten back out again. Well, here, you don't have cold weather, okay? We had a cool night when I went to the state fair, and it was 61 degrees, and we were freezing, okay? That's what cold weather is here, guys. The coldest I have seen, and it was overnight, in the 3.5 years that I've been living here, is about 58 degrees. It was cold. But during this time of the year, like late November, probably to like the beginning of February, man, we finna have some fantastic weather. So probably about 2 months. During the day, it's gonna be in the 80s, and some days it's gonna be in the 70s. And for the people that have got acclimated to living here in Mearda, we almost don't even need air conditioning. We turn on the ceiling fan and open up the windows, and it's cool. And at nighttime, me and my wife wake up sometime and say, "Did you turn on the air conditioning last night?" And we find out that the air conditioning is not even on. It's just a fan. Okay, but it's cold. You have to get a blanket. So the weather, just having that warm weather all year long, guys, can make it really nice and make the adjustment really, really easy, especially in the wintertime. In the summer, not so much. In the winter, it can be really nice. Okay. Here's one that can help make your life a little bit more comfortable here. And I took advantage of it in the beginning, but for me, it just ain't working. And that is Spanish classes. Spanish classes are all over the city, guys. And they're very inexpensive. One class I was taking was like 200 pesos for 1 hour of one-on-one class with my teacher. Okay? That part was nice. It was online on a Zoom call, but you can go to classes where you can be with other students, and it's reasonable. You can go to college, which is something that my wife done, and you even have Americans teaching Spanish here, which is really, really nice. Okay, all kinds of ways where you can try to learn Spanish. It's awesome, and the price is definitely affordable. Okay. Let's go into the bonus territory. I may be in it already and may have passed it, but this is a bonus. And sometimes it don't always work in your favor, but when it does, it sure is nice. And that is the US dollar. Right now, the US dollar is going for like $20.70 to one. The peso is at 20.70 to one, okay? What does that mean? That means for every 20 pesos, it's $1. It's a little bit more. Sometimes it's a little bit less, but right now it's a little bit more. Man, it makes things nice. It's like getting a sale price on things, even when it's not on sale, okay? And it makes the conversion easy. Because when the peso is 20 to 1, all you have to do is divide it by 2 and drop the 0 on the end. For instance, if something is 50 pesos, divide that by 2, which is 25, okay? And then drop the last zeros on that, okay? Which would be $2.50. So now it's not 25. It only costs you $2.50, okay? So 50 pesos is equal to $2.50. When you go 20 to 1, right now it's a little bit over 20 to 1, which can help pay for the fee that they charge you to get your conversion. Now, the way to get this 20 to 1 is probably going to be through your bank. Because if you take them US dollars to an exchange machine, they're going to give you about $1 to $1.50 less than what the peso is going for. Okay? But even still, that's better than paying 16 or 17 to 1. So it's a great thing when the dollar is strong for us that's live abroad. And then another bonus is the people here, okay? Of course, everybody has that one guy that's a pain in the butt, or that one woman that's a pain in the butt, okay? And they can really be a pain in the butt to you, you know. But find that one person here is rare. The people here can really be nice. They can really be friendly. They take their time with you when you're trying to speak in Spanish. You know, they'll talk slow with you. They help you. When I'm using my Google Translator on the phone, they're patient and accommodating, and they work with me on that. When I'm not pronouncing words right, they help me to pronounce the words right. And then even better than that, you go to some of these places and they may have that one person there that speaks English. They'll go and get that person to help you with your, your situation or your problem. So the people here can really be nice, okay? I mean, they really can be nice. When you go to restaurants, the service at a lot of restaurants, I mean, if you put one little piece of trash on there, say for instance, you're using stevia and they have the packages. You open up a package and you ball it up and kind of put it on your table. Before you're finished finishing your drink, okay, they even came and got that paper and any other paper, your old napkins that you have on the table, and they keep your table cleaned out for you. And that is a tribute to the people here. They can really be nice, okay? But now, I don't know how the rest of Mexico is. I'm only speaking for Mearda, Mexico. They say if you go to Mexico City, kind of like New York, the people not as friendly. But here in Mearda, the people here are friendly. My neighbors are friendly here. They invited us over, to meet us. And it's just been, and we're going to invite them over to come have dinner with us one of these days. And it's just been nice living here in Mearda. So all in all, guys, I hope these things that I talked about here are some things that can help you get comfortable living here in Mearda, in Mexico. And just living here in Mexico, there's plenty of things to do here. And if you like this video, again, give me the thumbs up deal. And then spread this video and show this video to your friends. I really would appreciate it. And then just thank you guys for y'all support here. We're coming up on the end of 2024 and headed into 2025. And hopefully I'll see you guys somewhere on the road, or in one of the restaurants, or at Boston Pizza, or somewhere. It don't matter where it is. And if you see me, it's okay to say hello. It's kind of nice to see people. Anyway, Until the next time, guys, peace out and keep it slow.